Let's get right to it with some breaking news in the Casey Anthony case. The state's attorney office just filed a motion to seek the death penalty against her. Now, this means a possible death sentence back on the table. What made the state change its mind? Did prosecutors just get their hands on some incriminating evidence? Let's get to our experts. Joining us by phone, Natisha Lance, producer from The Nancy Grace Show. She's been following this since day one. She has confirmed this new development. Also with us, Marva Hinton, reporter, WDBO Radio in Orlando. She's also been with us since day one. And joining us as well, Pam Bondi, Florida State prosecutor. Also with us, Mark Eiglarsh, former prosecutor, criminal defense attorney. So everybody's ready. Are you ready? Call in. 1-877-TEL-HLN is the number. Let's start with Natisha Lance, producer, Nancy Grace Show. Natisha, tell us about it. Death penalty's back on the table.
Death penalty is back on the table as of late this afternoon. The state attorney's office filed a motion seeking the death penalty, and they are citing sufficient aggravating circumstances in this regard. Now, the only thing that might be a problem for Jose Baez is that he does not have enough trial experience to sit first chair in a death penalty case.
Okay.
So that means another attorney would have to step in, be the first chair. He could still be a part of the team, but not the main attorney on the case.
Okay. Okay, so let's hit them one at a time here, guys. And we'll hit on Baez. He could be out as the lead attorney, as Natisha's saying, but let's backtrack to the aggravating circumstances. What could have happened here? Pam, you're a Florida State prosecutor. Got to start with you on that front. What changed here? What happened?
Well, I know what happened is after they found the body, they must have reconsidered it. I have never seen this happen in a death penalty case before. What will be different for the prosecution is they won't be entitled to all the discovery, meaning all the medical reports and all the documents that the defense has, because they changed their mind 45 days out. But they must feel that they have sufficient aggravators based on finding the body and the additional evidence that gave the prosecution. So they must feel very, very strongly about this.
Mark, what could these aggravators be?
Well, they're going to argue that it was especially heinous, atrocious, and cruel, hack as we call it. But I find that to be suspicious since their own medical examiners say that they don't know exactly how this happened. I don't know that they have any new evidence that suggests it, but one thing's for sure, they have a much better chance of getting a conviction now that they're going to be able to death qualify a jury. In other words, be able to ask potential jurors, if we prove our case, could you impose the ultimate sanction of death? Now, that leads to a more conservative amount of jurors to serve. Okay.
Mark, let me stay with you, and I'll get to Pam as well. So, body was found. Little Kaylee's body was found in December. We're talking 4 months ago. Why would it take so long to find those aggravating circumstances and come up with them and go after the death penalty again?
It's possible that they've worked with their experts, they've analyzed it, they now think that they have a theory of how this took place, what the tape on the mouth means. Maybe they've just analyzed their case and they believe they know what happened. Or, again, politics and wanting to secure a conviction might have played a role.
What do you mean politics?
No.
Well, everyone's watching this case. I think from the day that they discovered the body, there was even greater pressure to seek the death penalty. I know Pam probably disagrees,
all right,
but
absolutely.
Politics plays a role in this very high-profile
case. Okay, that's quite an allegation there, Pam. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Mark, I just respectfully completely disagree with that, because here's why. They had not sought the death penalty, and they were in the clear from that, and they had the 45 days, and now I think they've reconsidered. No one was still pressuring them to seek the death penalty, and I disagree. Once you death qualify a jury, sure, you're going to have much more conservative jurors, but from trying a lot of death cases, they also hold you to a much higher standard, because they know when they go into that trial, the guilt phase, that ultimately they may have to consider life or death. So on difficult cases, sometimes it is much harder. I agree you're going to have a much more conservative group of jurors, but these prosecutors are going to have an uphill battle. They must feel very, very strongly about it. One other thing they may have that we don't know is CCP, called cold, calculated, premeditated. And most all murders are premeditated, first-degree murders. However, they must feel they have heightened premeditation. And as Mark alluded to earlier, maybe the duct tape on her mouth. Now, the things that tied back to the house after they found her little body, that may give them the heightened premeditation. And, of course, the age of the victim is also an aggravator.
You can't ignore the fact that those soft, liberal folks are going to be dismissed and won't ever make it to the potential jury because they're going to say, no, I could never impose death. Those people are gone. What remains are those who are more conservative in thought process, and I think that helps the prosecution generally.
I'm sorry. So are your right conservative jurors. They're going to be gone as well. The ones who say, I believe in death in every single case.
All right.
Yes, you're going to have a more conservative panel, though, overall.
Guys, let's get some calls in. Karina in California. Hi, Karina. Welcome to the show.
Hi. I was just calling to say that I'm so glad that this is back on the table. She deserves for the death penalty to, you know, for them to convict her of it. I've been following this case. It's personal to me because I have a daughter about the same age. And it's horrific to even imagine that she's done this. And, I mean, I know, you know, the United States Constitution, you have a right to jury and trial, but in my eyes, she is completely guilty, and she deserves to die. I don't feel that she, you know, should live the rest of her life in prison. You
Karina,
know, she doesn't deserve to breathe.
Karina, thanks for the phone call. Again, innocent until proven guilty, but a big development in the Casey Anthony case. The prosecution is putting the death penalty back on the table. We'll take your phone calls, 1-877-TEL-HLN. You can text us. Standard messaging rates apply, but here's the text, HLN TV or 45688. Start your message with the word Prime. You can email us as well, CNN.com/Prime News. Again, big news, death penalty for Casey Anthony.